He went on to say, Ben wants to win, but Ben wants to win his way, and that's tough to play with. Ben won a Super Bowl, but he won when he was younger. Now he's at this stage where he tries to control everything, and the team let him get there. But Big Ben's teammate, Marquise Pouncey, defended his quarterback on Instagram, saying, I've been with Ben going on 10 years. I swear on my kids, he is a true leader. Sucks to see players who leave and are mad at the organization now try and point fingers like they are perfect. But this is the world we live in now. So we are joined by Rob Parker this morning. Rob, good to have you with us.
What's happening?
Whose side are you on here, Rob?
I'm on all the Steelers who are pointing at Big Ben. It's obvious to me that Big Ben is the problem. And, you know this, Shannon, from offensive player and a quarterback having a bond with their quarterback. You even remember T.O. boo-hooing about my quarterback.
That was all put on.
All right,
No, it wasn't. Don't do that. That wasn't.
Stop.
They're called crocodile tears.
Stop. He cried.
Crocodile tears.
And you have a special relationship with, right, John Elway? Okay. It's when you see these players now break a bond from a guy who, during their tenure there, it's not like they didn't put up numbers or he couldn't get them the football.
Right.
They did nothing but excel with Big Ben. We saw 6 of the greatest years by A.B. for a wide receiver.
In NFL history.
Yes, in NFL history. We saw Le'Veon Bell, 406 touches the last time he played. Year before, the success he had both running the football and catching the football out of the backfield. So all of these things are positives.
Right.
So for them to go and turn and say, no, there's something wrong here, something stinks here, and it's Ben, you got to believe in it. These aren't bitter guys who didn't get theirs and are questioning and saying...
They're not bitter?
No, I'm saying from the standpoint that he wasn't good enough to help them along to be great. Those are the quarterbacks you look at and go, man, if I had a real quarterback, I would be good. I'd be in the Pro Bowl. I'd be getting paid. Say Blake Bortles or somebody like that. That might be the guy.
Who Skip believed in last year?
I did not. I just said he torched Belichick.
No,
which he did.
Well, he
the
did.
Lions
Playoffs,
torched
yeah.
Belichick.
Yeah, everybody. Except in Super Bowl and in the playoffs.
Yeah. Well, it started in the previous Super Bowl.
Don't do
right?
that, Skip.
Yeah.
And then I think for so many guys to come out and say that this is what's going on, it's one thing if there's one bitter guy and he leaves the organization and he didn't really get what he wants, but it's just way too many guys to believe that Ben's not a part of the problem. And you even heard Colbert, the GM, and when he said that he's the unquestioned leader and whatnot.
52 kids.
Yeah, everybody else was called, all these grown men were called kids under Big Ben. And don't forget, Skip, when they had the big, whether or not they were going to protest with the Kaepernick, and they all decided to stay inside the locker room the next day. Who was it who said that was a mistake and blasted Tomlin? It was Big Ben. He all of a sudden...
James Harrison sat right in that seat and said that when we went to bed that night, we were going to stay in the locker room or the tunnel where we couldn't be seen during the playing of the national anthem.
Okay, so whose fault is it?
All I know is Big Ben said he was upset at Tomlin and they shouldn't have done it. That's what he said.
And if you're the real leader, then you should have spoke up that day
That night
and said, I'm not a part of this. I don't want to do it.
Didn't?
But he went along with the group, and then you can't do it the next day. So all I'm saying is, for all the success that Big Ben's had, and he's had a lot, right? 2 Super Bowls, I get all that. But it doesn't mean as you get older and as you get more clout, you decide that you're going to do things your way. And I believe what these players are saying again.
So Rob Parker's conclusion is they traded the wrong guy. They should have traded Roethlisberger, right?
That's not what he said.
I believe that's where you're headed.
Because it's not just that. It's also the organization, which hasn't paid a lot of their players as well. So the Steelers have a couple things working.
Okay.
Okay? They wanted Le'Veon Bell to take another transition, right?
Franchise tag.
After he touched the ball 406 times, after he's put up all these numbers, they didn't want to pay him. So that was part of it. He said it was a factor, not the factor.
Right. You want me to go or you want to go?
You should go.
You sure?
Yep, I'm positive.
For me, there was something that Marquise Pouncey said that was in that IG post that I was writing down, Rob, when you was parking. He said, these guys left and they're bitter and they act like they're perfect. Are you saying Ben's perfect? Because I didn't hear you see, because it's like you're placing...
He didn't say they're bitter. He just said they're mad at the organization.
They're mad and they're what? Act like they're what?
Now they try and point fingers like they are perfect.
Okay. So it's Ben perfect because he's accepted, because he's blocking for Ben again like Ben is perfect. Skip, we know that Ben is not perfect. We know that Ben has handled some situations wrong. But the fact of the matter is that everybody gets so caught up. Well, he's won this. You can win a Nobel Peace Prize. That doesn't make you a good person or a teammate if you're in a team situation. There have been great doctors that work in a team, and he's unbelievable in his field. But he don't get along with a lot of people, and it's like, well, he's not a team player. Maybe Ben is not a team player, Skip. That's okay. But to sit here and say because he won Super Bowl, he's beyond reproach. Oh, because he led the league in passing, how dare you criticize Ben Roethlisberger? Easy. I do it all the time. That's what I'm here for. If I think something's wrong, I vouch for Ben a lot early on when people took shot after shot after shot at him. But I have the luxury of knowing things that a lot of people don't know.
Really?
I'm not going to get into all that. That's neither here nor there. But I guarantee you can take this to the bank.
Yeah. So are you talking more about his off-the-field behavior?
No. I'm talking about in the locker room.
Okay. All right. Because obviously he's not been any angel off the field.
No. For me, Skip, I try, when I'm talking about a player as a teammate, I try to keep it football related, locker room and the playing field. What he did outside of that, that's not teammate related.
Unless that misbehavior somehow affects your ability to perform on the football field.
Right. Or riding the motorcycle and all that. Right. That's a team leader. But also, that's a good team leader now.
But also you could talk about a judgment. Like, you know what I mean? Like, that's all. What he does off the field is a judgment, and then you don't know how he treats other people behind the scenes.
I want my team leader to get on a motorcycle without a helmet on. That's a team leader there. That's the kind of leader that we need.
I've known a lot of quarterbacks who were team leaders who were daredevils off the field, like crazy daredevils.
I'm talking about that one. I don't know them.
Okay, all right. So I'm going to thank Rob Parker on behalf of Ben Roethlisberger because you're piling on also, and I'm telling you, you're going to fuel next season's MVP in the National Football League.
Oh, is that what you're...
He is going to wreak revenge on all of you because it has become unbelievably open season on Big Ben Roethlisberger. And I'm going to have to remind everybody, it sounds like he's just some guy who just hangs on to the job year after year, like he's Eli, who doesn't deserve to keep the job.
No, he's still a phenomenal, great player.
Right. Last year, he was third in the league in QBR. He led the league in passing yards.
Did they make the playoffs last year?
Let me finish. He led the league in passing yards, and he had career highs in passing yards, 5,000-plus yards, and in touchdown pass. He threw 34 touchdown passes last year, but it was a troubled football team revolving around the antics and misbehavior of number 84 because he was not a happy camper from the start of camp. And he made waves in that locker room and on the field and on the sideline that are hard to overcome. So they missed out by one game at the end of the year because Antonio decided he didn't want to play or he got sent home or I don't know what happened.
Didn't they win that game? That last game they won, Skip.
Okay, but was he there for them when they needed him most?
No, but they won that game. That's not the reason that they didn't win.
So it's now open season on a Ben Roethlisberger who's been to 3 Super Bowls and won 2 of them. He's been to 6 Pro Bowls. His overall record as a starting quarterback is 144-69 with 1 tie. But that's a winning percentage of 68%. That's pretty great.
But are they talking about him as a player?
Okay. Well, I'm just saying
it's
hard if you're a really bad negative, if you create negativity as the leader and face of the franchise, it's hard to keep winning that much. And all they've done is win with Ben at the starting quarterback.
You make it seem like
he won 7 AFC North.
Well,
7.
How many Pro Bowl receivers and how many so let me see. Jerome Bettis went to the Pro Bowl.
Yep.
Willie Parker went to the Pro Bowl.
Boy, they just keep turning them over, too.
James Conner went to the Pro Bowl. Le'Veon Bell went to the Pro Bowl. Hines Ward went to the Pro Bowl. Antonio Brown went to the Pro Bowl.
Don't have enough time.
You make it seem like he's playing with bums and Ben Roethlisberger is carrying these guys.
You make it seem like he has nothing to do with all those guys going to the Pro Bowl, because trust me, he had a lot to do with it.
He has, you make it, and it goes hand in hand. See, the biggest misconception is the receivers has nothing to do with the quarterback play. It's all quarterback play. Stop it. DeAndre Hopkins going to the Pro Bowl and being All-Pro, and he didn't have Pro Bowl quarterback and Hall of Famers and All-Pros. So it goes hand in hand. I'm not trying to do anything that Ben Roethlisberger, I'm not saying he isn't great, But being a great player and being a great teammate is something entirely different. And because what we've done, Rob, is that you win something, he becomes beyond reproach. How you going to say this about a two-time Super Bowl? How you going to say this about a guy that's third in QBR? Easy.
No,
this
it's
how you
longevity. He's 37 years of age, and last year, as he turned 37, he arguably had his best statistical year of his career. So he's still playing at a really high level while Eli's not.
But when you say, when the general manager comes out and says he's the unquestioned leader, he's the man, everybody else is kids,
well,
what do you...
Look, he was making an analogy like you make analogies all day long on this show. But his point was, he's the only one who's decorated. He's the only one. He's been to Super... Has anybody else left on that team been to a Super Bowl? No.
Pouncey wasn't Pouncey?
I don't think so.
I think Pouncey was a rookie the year they won.
He says he's been with them for 10 years.
I thought Colbert's point was that he's the only one who's been there and done that before.
No,
and knows what it feels like.
And I think he exposed or really told people that maybe Ben thinks he's that guy and he can say and do whatever he wants. That's what I got out of it.
Every franchise quarterback I've ever covered, and I've covered a whole bunch of them, they all thought they were that guy and they were going to do it their way. Or the highway.
But
that's how they operate.
Thinking that.
You've never had one in Detroit, so you wouldn't know. Right?
Wow, what a shot at the Lions.
Well, have they?
But Skip, thinking that.
Eric Kramer? That worked.
That was about it.
Really good.
Thinking that and verbalizing that are entirely two different things.
Okay.
You might think one way. And remember what he said, Skip. Now, Le'Veon Bell said, because he won those Super Bowls, the team allowed it to get there. What did Kevin Colbert said? Said if they had it to do over, they would have pulled the reins in on AB and Le'Veon a lot sooner. You see, Le'Veon said they allowed this. They hate that they allowed that Le'Veon and AB got some power, started being good, and they started bucking back. Well, they see how you treat Ben. What James Harrison said, they have a different set of rules. So they see the way you treat Ben. Le'Veon said, hey.
You're going to treat me right.
Oh, AB says, oh, he can do that? I'm going to do it too.
He can go on the radio and blast his teammates.
That's what it is, Skip.
Why can't we? We're good players. We're all pros.
Thank you. Now you see how it works.
You are allowing two malcontents who did not get the money they thought they deserved to make a scapegoat
AB
of the
got a big contract.
Yes. Right, but he thought he was way underpaid.
Yeah.
Like quickly underpaid. His whole point was, I went out for more money. And he got more money.
But here's the thing.
No, at the end of the contract, because there was no guarantee left. But at the time when he signed his deal, was a big deal.
But here's the thing. They could have cut him. Do you think let me ask you a question.
Yeah.
If AB doesn't say a word, do you think the Steelers are going to cut him after last season? Even though he missed the game, if he didn't cut...
No.
So it wasn't like he was going to make $13 million. Now he get more upfront money.
Okay.
But the thing is, Skip, see here again, Le'Veon not resetting the quarterback market. Le'Veon not taking the $14 million last year has nothing to do with his criticism of Ben. He's saying, yes, it played a factor. It's not the only factor.
Yeah.
But it did play a factor because I want to be treated fairly and humanly.
Final point. Marquise Pouncey used a phrase that you always tell me is the phrase.
Yes.
In the black community, when you say, I swear on my kids, you take that to your bank, right? You're putting your life on it.
Yeah.
And he wrote it. He didn't just speak it. He wrote it for posterity. I swear on my kids, Ben is a true, and then all caps, leader. Okay? That's not lip service. That's not platitudes or just empty cliches. He's saying, I swear on my kids he's a true leader. Now, again, he plays for Ben. He's his,
right. I was going to say, right.
Okay? But still, when you say, I swear on my kids, I think I'm going to put a little credibility on it.
But the only idea is there are more people on the nay side, and you got to give those guys, Harrison, all these guys are all pro, great football
Defensive player of the year.
That's all I'm saying.
And my thing is a leader says, you know what, this is what I do. I'll follow you, bro.
Yeah.
Wherever you go, and I'll follow you. You going to follow Big Ben because Big Ben hopped on a motorcycle with no helmet. That's your leader.
I think it's good Pouncey said this, but you've said all along we've been waiting for someone to come to his defense, and it took a long time.
Took a long time.
We've been talking about this guy.
We're about to see the wrath of Roethlisberger next year.
I'm already.
Unleashed.
Are you ready for this? He's not winning the MVP.
Yeah.
I don't know. Apparently, you guys are fueling the fire.
Let's do it.
I'm going out on the limb.
You said it.
Yeah, okay.
You guys betting on this?
We'll wait. You want to wait?
We already got, he and I got Cleveland and Pittsburgh.
Yeah.
He's going. It's going to motivate him.
Old Baker.
I got Baltimore.
Old Baker.
Lots
He
to
cooking
bet
up
on
something.
around
He
here,
cooking
Rob.
up something right now, Skip.
Thank you for joining us today. So, D-Wade is about to retire, but should he? Because it's been pretty fun to see, fun to watch. We'll discuss what he's up to next.